What's up, guys? It's Techno Viking 23 coming to you today with another Friday gaming ramble. Kind of just use these videos to just kind of babble and talk about whatever's going on in life, and if there's some gaming stuff, talk about that a little bit too. But anyways, things are still kind of the same for me. Not much really going on. I'm still trying to find a good full-time job. I did manage to actually land some part-time work for a little bit. I'm going to be working at a bike shop, like mountain bikes, road bikes, things like that, since that's something I do on the side anyways. One of the local shops over here was looking for some holiday help, so probably not going to be a long-term thing or through the end of the year, but at least for the time being, it's something to get a little bit of money coming in, even though it's not much, but can't really complain right now. Just got to have something to do. So that's at least good. I'll be working just a couple days a week, so still have plenty of time to make videos and play games and do stuff, but quite honestly, I'm getting kind of tired of not having to go to work. I did have a pretty promising interview, though, this Friday with actually a legal search company. They found my resume on one of the websites and called me in. I had to drive almost downtown and go talk to them for about an hour, and it was pretty good. Filled out a whole bunch of paperwork, and they have a job that they submitted my information for. I'm really hoping to hear back, hopefully on Monday. I was hoping I'd hear something by today, but I haven't so far, and I'm hoping they're going to let me know on Monday. But it was a really good job that I interviewed for, and pretty good pay, great benefits, and a little bit of travel involved, but that's okay. To like Tennessee and South Carolina, and a little bit here in Georgia, but still pretty good opportunity, and I really hope it comes through. I guess we'll find out next week. I'm just really impatient right now. Like, I've been out of work since July, and you know, after I left on Wednesday, I was like, well, hopefully they'll call me Thursday, and it's like, hopefully they'll call me Friday, and it's almost the end of the day on Friday, and I still haven't heard anything. So I'm still just very impatient right now, and I really want to, you know, get back on my feet and start working full time again, so I can have some money, because I need to some games that I want to get. There's all kinds of stuff. I got bills to pay. There's all kinds of stuff going on right now that I just want to take care of. But so that's pretty much it for personal life. Really, that's nothing. Nothing's changed. Really, just trying to stay busy as usual. Really trying to enjoy the weather down here. It's nice. It's in the 70s, and the sun's been out for like the last week and a half. And where I moved from, I talked to my buddy this last weekend, and they already had snow. It's been frosting up there and everything, so it's been pretty crazy. So that's pretty much it for real life stuff's going on. Gaming, we got a bunch of stuff going on right now. Of course, we have the Kotaku article that came out the other day about Bungie and about how much actual cut content was in Destiny. Made a video about that. You guys can check out. I'll link that down below if you want to go see it. But not going to really spend too much time on that, because I'm trying to get away from Destiny, in all honesty. That article that came out really killed any desire to even further support Bungie or talk about anything with regards to that game. It's just so ridiculous. And even some of the big Destiny YouTubers I've seen, it's almost like they're running out of content to talk about Destiny now. I'm seeing all these clickbait videos from a lot of them. It's pretty hilarious, actually. But anyways, a couple games I'm looking forward to. One is No Man's Sky, and we're hopefully going to get some information next week. We're either going to get some information next week, or they're going to be like, surprise, we released the game, because Amazon.com, there's all this stuff going on with their pre-orders, basically saying their pre-orders are coming out on the 27th. But nothing's been confirmed. Hello Games has kept us in the dark. Sony's kept us in the dark. It's really been driving me insane, because you guys know this is a game I've been looking forward to for a long time, and I'm kind of falling off the bandwagon now, because I'm just so tired of not having any news. You know, in this day and age, especially with gaming, with so many lackluster releases that come out, it's really concerning not having either a beta or anything, or any kind of information at all about the game prior to coming out. So you know, I can't believe people would actually pre-order No Man's Sky, because it's promising a lot, and they're just not giving us any info at all prior to the game coming out. So hopefully we'll get some news next week. Next week's a big week. We've got Halo 5 obviously drops. It's been out for a while now. There's been spoilers all over the internet. I have a pretty good idea of what the story and campaign is already. I've seen quite a bit of gameplay footage. The campaign I'm not really impressed with, quite honestly. I don't know if 343 really understands Halo and capturing the feel of Halo, but of course we're into you know, this is Halo 5 technically, but if you count and reach some of the other games, they've done like 6 or 7 games with Halo, and I guess it's just sort of showing a franchise that's kind of, I guess, burning out maybe is the thing. Now, I'm still hoping multiplayer is going to be really good. I'm still hoping the Warzone is going to be awesome. But I think Halo is a franchise. It just needs to go away maybe. Or they need to do something without Master Chief. Maybe they could take, do something like Spartan Ops and just make that the focus of letting you create your own character. And maybe they could try an action RPG shooter like Mass Effect with Halo. That would be kind of cool. But it's just, that's another thing mentioning Mass Effect. It's kind of interesting because when you play through that trilogy, it's like you almost don't want it to end. But then I always think about this. I'm like, I'd really love to play more Mass Effect, and I'm so glad that Mass Effect Andromeda is coming out next year. But at the same time, I'm like, it's nice that Shepard's story got closure, and they didn't just keep milking it for the next, 5 or 6 years afterwards. I mean, it's only been 3 years since Mass Effect 3, but still, Halo, they just keep milking it, and Master Chief is going to be like 500 years old. There's going to be like Halo 17 somewhere down the road, and he's going to be fighting, I don't know, some combination of the Flood and the Forerunners. It's just crazy. It's ridiculous how they keep milking Halo. So I really hope the multiplayer is going to carry it, because from what I've seen from the campaign, it really hasn't been that impressive, quite honestly. Even the graphics, I don't think they look that much better than Halo 4, and I'm really trying to figure out why they didn't just bring it out on Xbox 360. I understand they're trying to do the whole 60 frames per second, but just watching it, maybe it's just the quality of some of the gameplay I've been seeing is just not very good, but the graphics don't really impress me at all, enough to the point where it seems like a huge improvement over Halo 4. But anyways, we'll get more on Halo next week. Obviously, it's coming out on the 27th. There's been a lot of spoilers and stuff, so if you guys are wanting to avoid that, be careful out there, because a lot of people are doing clickbait too and on other topics and trying to troll people into spoiling Halo 5. But I'm one of those people where I really don't care. If a game gets spoiled, I still play it. It doesn't matter. You experience the story for yourself. So that's it. Star Wars: The Old Republic, another game MMO that I play quite a bit. They have a new expansion coming out next week as well on the 27th. It's in early access right now. I have not had any time really to try that out. I do have early access to it, but I've just been so busy playing Dragon Age Inquisition. I haven't really had much time to get into back into the Old Republic, but I'm definitely going to give the new Knights of the Fallen Empire expansion a chance. SWTOR is one of those games I kind of have a love-hate relationship with it. I play it on and off consistent. I'll play it for 3 months, then won't play it for 3 or 4 months, then I'll go back to it and play it for a little while, then I'll quit playing. It's just one of those games that can't seem to really hold my attention for a long amount of time, so we'll see if this new expansion is any good. That's pretty much it. Another game I'm looking forward to, I mentioned a while back, is called the Solus Project, which is a sort of a survival game. It's kind of like No Man's Sky, except you're on one planet, and it's this massive planet. You get to explore all these underground tombs and things, and they are actually going to be allowing people to play the game early on Xbox. There's going to be a game preview where they're going to basically, in early 2016, they're going to let people just play the game. I guess it's sort of a beta state, and it's going to be continually updated until they actually release the full game. Hopefully, and they're saying sometimes in quarter 2 of 2016 is when we'll get to see the Solus Project. So that's going to be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that game. As a single-player game, I know a lot of people... there just seems to be so much focus on multiplayer lately, and even in some of my videos I've been doing about Dragon Age and Mass Effect, people are like, why don't you play There's no multiplayer in this. I'm like, well, you know what? I honestly don't care. I'm one of those people where I can play whatever, and I'm just so sick of these multiplayer games as being the focus now, and so many of these companies not even putting any effort into a campaign or single-player story. And that's another thing, too. It seems like 2015, we thought this was finally going to be the year that AAA games and things were finally going to start to get better, but it's been disappointment after disappointment. Gaming has just been in kind of a rut the last couple of years, especially with the new generation consoles. It's just crazy. And I was watching some stuff on Rainbow Six, the new one that's coming out, and it's ridiculous, the pricing structure they've already got in that game. They've already confirmed there's really not going to be much of a single player story campaign really at all, and they want to charge, they've got a collector's edition for $100 and some, and it's like all you're getting is multiplayer. Why would you pay that much money for the game? It's just crazy. And then Star Wars, EA, Star Wars Battlefront has been catching some crap here because they've announced all their little packages that they're going to have for Battlefront, which, the Battlefront beta was pretty fun. I had a good time playing it, but it's not a game I would even pay $60 for, based on what I saw in the beta. If it's got a whole bunch more content in it, possibly, but to me it felt like a $30 game, or it just wasn't something that was worth full price. It just didn't feel like it. And they've already announced there's going to be a $50 DLC season pass for it. There's collector's editions and deluxe editions, and it's crazy these days with gaming. You're getting such a watered down product from these publishers and developers, and they want you to just fork over all your money for it. You know, Activision started doing all this really with Call of Duty, and it's getting into all. You know, Destiny obviously has been a huge abuser of this system, especially after that Kotaku article. EA is another terrible publisher when it comes to doing this kind of stuff. And it's just really aggravating. I think I'm going to have to do a video about my top pet peeves in gaming, and microtransactions and this whole DLC crap would definitely be one of it. You know, I don't have a problem with DLC as long as it's good DLC and effort and time was put into it by the developer, and it really enhances your overall gaming experience. But I'm just tired of this trend where it's like, we announced this game that's coming out. We want you to give us $60 for this game. But before either a beta comes out or before you even get to play the actual game, we're going to tell you all about this $50 season pass. We're going to tell you all about all this DLC that's coming out, all this microtransactions and stuff that's going to be in our game. And the game's not even out yet. You haven't even gotten to play it, but we're going to expect you to buy all this other crap to get a full experience. And that just is driving me nuts. I'm just so sick of it. That's why some of the games like Witcher 3 is pretty refreshing to see, you know, a company that just puts the great, amazing game out and didn't spend a whole lot of money to do it, and then they give you all the DLC for free. There's still a few companies out there that still are doing okay, and but that just drives me nuts. I hate it's like with Destiny when it's like the House of Wolves released, and like not even like 5 or 6 days after, it's like they didn't even give us a chance to try to find out what was in the House of Wolves. It's like, oh, guess what, guys, Taken King's coming, and you got to pay another, you know, it's like, stop with the DLC. Just stop it. Put out a good quality game and let us play it for a little while, and then develop some more DLC for it down the road. And if your DLC is good enough, we'll buy it. But stop giving us DLC right away, and before the game's even out. Stop talking about DLC. Stop talking about. We don't want to hear it. Most of us don't, anyways. I know there's a lot of people out there who don't care, who just buy whatever, but it just drives me nuts. All these companies coming out with these season passes and these deluxe editions for $150, and they're like, oh, there's going to be more DLC after this too. And it's like, God, how much money are you going to pay for what in the end turns out to be a very watered down game in terms of content? So that's really driving me nuts. Thankfully, Dragon Age Inquisition has been pretty good so far for me. It's been keeping my attention, and there's a lot of content in that game. I feel like I really got my money's worth in the Game of the Year edition. I've actually started 3 characters in the game, and I'm just one of those people. I love games like Mass Effect, Dragon Age. BioWare has actually been one of my favorite developers for a long time. If I could call myself almost a fanboy of any publisher or any developer, it'd probably be BioWare. They've kind of had me hooked since Knights of the Old Republic, way back in the day for PC. It's back when I was in college. That was a really, really good game. I don't know if you guys haven't played Knights of the Old Republic and you have any way possible of doing so, I strongly suggest it. It's one of my favorite games that I've ever played. And obviously the Mass Effect trilogy, now Dragon Age is interesting though, because I do have a few minor, I guess, gripes about the game. It's visually it's beautiful. It's an amazing game, especially on PlayStation 4. It looks really good. The characters are pretty cool. It's got a great feel to it. But there's some really annoying things, and there's one of the things with BioWare, and they did this in Mass Effect a little bit, and they did this in SWTOR a little bit, is they give you this illusion of choice with all your relationships and your companions. It's like they give you all these companions, and they give you a chance to get to know them and everything, and it's like you think you have all this choice over what you can actually do and like romance options and things, but in the end it winds up that you're always like shoehorned into 1 or 2 characters that fit the narrative the best or whatever. You know, that they did that in Mass Effect with Liara. You know, it's kind of like you were always sort of pushed in her direction. She was supposed to be the romance option that everybody picked. You know, they kind of do that. They give you this illusion of choice, and then it's like it's not really there. And I really wish they would start doing that, like hopefully with Mass Effect Andromeda. It's like you can just do whatever you want with whoever's there. You don't have to have any stipulations. It's just, you know, all the characters can get to know each other however they want to. The other thing about Dragon Age that's really driving me crazy is the companion AI is just ridiculously stupid. I've been trying to actually I put up my video where I killed the dragon in the hinterlands, and I'm trying to fight this dragon in Crestwood, which is actually, it seems to be like it would be an easier dragon fight, because this dragon is just mostly melee. It doesn't spam like fire. It shoots lightning every once in a while, but it's mostly a melee dragon, and I keep trying to use the tactical view and tell my mages to stand like outside the area and use their ranged attacks and let my tank go in and take all the damage, and they just continue to wander into melee range and die like instantly. And it's like you tell your squad mates, your people, your companions to go do things and attack this and do this and that, and it's like they don't listen. They'll listen for like 2 seconds and then they just stop, or they'll go do their own thing. Like I sent Blackwall to tank this dragon, and then I go back to range with my archer and my 2 mages, and all of a sudden my mages are both dead like instantly, and I'm like, what's going on? I look over and Blackwall is like wandering off into a thing of shrubs. He's just standing. He's not even attacking the dragon after I told him to attack. It's like just ridiculous how bad the AI is in this game. But thankfully that doesn't come into play for most of the encounters and most of the story stuff. But for some of the bigger boss fights and things, it gets really frustrating. So that's one of my really my 2 biggest gripes with Dragon Age so far. Although I'm really enjoying the game overall, and I might even do a Let's Play. I'm running 2 human characters and a Kunari right now, and it's really interesting how it changes even the character interaction a little bit depending on the race you choose, or what you are, if you're a mage or anything like that. So I haven't done an elf or a dwarf, so I may do a Let's Play with Dragon Age and just go through some of the base story stuff. I'm not going to do all 60, 70 hours of gameplay. It's it's pretty crazy, but still enjoying the game, and it's been fun to play and refreshing to get back to a good game with lots of single player content. Like I mentioned earlier, I enjoy both types of games, and I really, there's been a big lack of really any good single player games lately. It's all about this focus on multiplayer. All these games now, Battlefront's not going to have a story campaign. Rainbow Six is not going to have a story campaign. It's like, I'm not going to pay $60 just for multiplayer stuff in a video game. And unfortunately, that seems to be the model a lot of these companies are going to try to go to here down the road. So, but anyways, that's about it, guys, for me. Just looking forward to the weekend. I've been busy this week and had to work today a little bit, so I'm definitely going to try to relax a little bit this weekend and play some more Dragon Age, and probably make some more Mass Effect 3 videos. I got a whole bunch lined up for next week, so look for those for the multiplayer character videos. And that's pretty much it on my end. Like I said, same old usually with real life, but hopefully I'm hoping things pick up next week. I hope I get a phone call from that company I interviewed with and they give me some good news, so keep your fingers crossed. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for me. I hope you guys are having a great Friday. I hope you have a great weekend. As always, thanks for watching, commenting, everything else. You guys are awesome. That's pretty much it. So I will see you guys again next time.